Who are the new favourites to win the Premier League? This weekend's action was absolutely crazy. And in this video, we're going to break down where Liverpool, Arsenal, and of course, Man City are in what is the craziest three-horse title race. It's the only one I can even think of. You have to let me know in the comments down below. In the Premier League era, have we had three legitimate sides that could go on to win the Premier League title? Now, obviously, the one that comes to mind, especially as a Man City fan, is Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers, Man City under Pellegrini, and Jose Mourinho's second stint at Chelsea. But that Chelsea side were poor. They weren't quite at it, in my opinion. The Liverpool side were young. They had a very young Raheem Sterling and Daniel Sturridge and players like that. And the Man City side that won it kind of faltered a little bit and should have won it and eventually did. This is massively different. The Liverpool side that I'm currently watching are playing out of their skin. A lot of the players are playing with adrenaline. They're playing so many minutes of football. The Jurgen Klopp narrative, I mean, the side that he's built is obviously far better than what Brendan Rodgers did. And then he's competing against Guardiola, his old nemesis, and of course Arsenal, who came second and they were leading the title race last season. So there's never been a three-horse title race with so much immense quality that we've seen. Maybe in Division 1 history, I can't think of any really that have gone this far. I mean, it's April the 1st. It's April the 1st. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to talk about where each side go next in the Premier League and, of course, what we saw last weekend. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Would really appreciate it. I talked about Liverpool on the channel, but an overview with a little bit more hindsight has to be that this Liverpool side were playing out their skin against Brighton. Again, to come back, they show momentum. They show a drive that wasn't quelled by the FA Cup shock loss to Man United, the shock conceding of a goal to Anthony, of all people. I think the quadruple chat was harmful for Liverpool. I really do. And Trent kind of perpetrated it a little bit in some of the interviews he did. Obviously, Liverpool got the ability to win the quadruple with the Europa League, not the Champions League, with the amount of quality they've got in that squad. But they were always looking way too thin to do that. I think people even thought they were too thin in their squad with the amount of new transfers coming in and the lack of experience for Jordan Henderson and Fabinho leaving. That even the Premier League title race would be too much of an ask. They'd be too thin to do that, let alone anything else. And the fact that they've gone this far into the season, only just recently, a couple of weeks ago, lost in the FA Cup, of course, to Man United, is a massive testament to where this squad could obviously go without Jurgen Klopp in the future, because they've got some young, bright sparks, and it's very, very exciting. But all in all, against such a good footballing side like Brighton, they concede a lot of goals, yes, but they're still a very, very good outfit under De Zerbi, and someone that obviously clearly wants to be at least advertised for the Jurgen Klopp role at Liverpool. What they did was fantastic. So much energy, so much mobility, absolutely electric. You have to say they're currently top of the table. The goal difference is massive, because when I've been doing debate videos on the club or on other channels, if you just do it as a pure who can win it on a mathematical level, at the very minimum, if you're the most diehard Man City fan, you just do it on a pure mathematical level, it's obviously 33.33%. There's three sides in it that could all win the Premier League title race. So it's about a third each. If you give Liverpool the extra points that they've got on Man City and Arsenal, then you give Liverpool the goal difference, which is +5. 5 is quite a big number, especially if Liverpool keep adding to that. And for City to overtake that in this part of the season, you're not going to see City score 4, 5, 6 many times from now until the end of the season. Especially last year, the goals kind of dried up a little bit for City. It's not as free flowing. That's because of squad rotation, resting of Haaland for Champions League games. So it's not going to be as simple as overturning points and a goal difference. So the goal difference for Liverpool is absolutely huge. At the moment, Liverpool are currently top. At the moment, they've got, I think, world-class players are important here. I really do. In the spine, I'd obviously throw in Alisson if he's fully fit, which is an issue for them. You could be in some of these Premier League games coming up. Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, they've been absolutely incredible. And the fact that Van Dijk is playing with someone like Quansah all season, and Quansah now looks like a Premier League centre-back, regular for Liverpool. And he's playing League One football last season. Van Dijk is playing out of his skin. If he wins the Premier League title, there will be a consideration that he's PFA Player of the Year, no doubt. Same with Phil Foden at Man City, if Man City win the title. And maybe Odegaard, maybe Rice at Arsenal. So each side have got these kind of world-class players, but I think Liverpool got a couple more experienced world-class players in their ranks than Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal. A lot of commentary about parking the bus. A lot of commentary about how there were 8 centre-backs on the pitch against, for Arsenal and for Man City in the game. I don't mind it. If it was a side that were better than Man City going there and doing that, then that's different as a City fan. Of course it would be. If it was Ancelotti doing that, maybe it'd be a little bit worrying for the state of football. But the way Arsenal have gone about going to the City, they've not won there. I mean, the last time they won there, Phil Foden was still a ball boy and playing at the City Academy. John Stones was at Everton. Ruben Diaz was in the Benfica Youth Academy. So it's been so long. See, I wasn't even working in football the last time Arsenal won at the Etihad. For right or for wrong, ultimately, Arsenal have gone up there and changed the narrative. They've done it in an ugly way. They forced the issue. It was so ugly. I could be bitter and say they've parked the bus, of course, but they parked the bus. They parked a bus, but they also had the best chances in the game. If Jesus had a bit more bravery at the back post, like a natural striker would have, then they could have actually won the game 1-0, even 2-0. I think they're the best chances. Whatever you say about City, look, I'm a massive proponent of what Guardiola does and what his tactical kind of insights are. I rarely criticise him, but he got it wrong. Of course he got it wrong. You can't play against Arsenal with that kind of record. Look at Liverpool, the way they lean into the Anfield record. Look at some of the other kind of records in the Big Six. Sometimes these records really matter, and the fact that City weren't able to kind of lean into the Etihad, lean into Arsenal's being a little bit, they were a little bit frightened of the occasion, in my opinion. Not in the sense that did Gabriel or Saliba shy away from challenges or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but there would have been a bit of tension. That's the word I'm trying to find. There would have been a bit of tension in the Arsenal fans in Arteta, worrying about this game, worrying about losing it, and the fact that City couldn't lean a little bit more and try and put pressure on and kind of in the final 10 minutes, I was fully expecting a City goal. I really was. I thought the ball would have been played quicker and there would have been a far more aggression shown, and that wasn't the case. City didn't lean into the Arsenal nerves of the occasion. I'm not saying there were many to begin with. So on that level, Arsenal are currently second. I think they're showing better form than Liverpool in this calendar year, the business end of the season, as I like to say. But the points really matter. How are they going to overturn those points? They're going to have to hope that Liverpool fall away. And Man City are now going to have to hope that Arsenal and Liverpool fall away. That will be a big, big issue. I don't think Arsenal have that goal-scoring calibre in the same way that Liverpool do. The way Mohamed Salah can get a goal out of nowhere. I know they're one of the highest scoring sides in Europe this calendar year, but they were against lesser opposition. Martinelli came back against Man City. Jesus missed a few chances. Saka looked a little bit, not ropey, but a little bit stiff maybe in the final 20 minutes before he got substituted. Not as free-flowing. Again, it's against Man City. It's all relative. It's against Man City. But could Arsenal find themselves unstuck, especially in that North London derby coming up, in terms of scoring the goals to get over the line? Keeping clean sheets, yes. There might be a couple more 0-0s in there, and that's what Arsenal could be worried about. But if you're an Arsenal fan, let me know in the comments down below. But let's talk about Man City. Actually, worryingly, in a couple of days, Man City versus Aston Villa. The hardest game. Liverpool and Arsenal have got Sheffield United and Luton, respectively. So Aston Villa is a huge moment. Real Madrid comes up shortly after away days at Palace. If Man City can get back to winning form in the next 3 games, then you've got Luton at home as well in the league, then that's an amazing foundation to put immense pressure on Liverpool and Arsenal, who've in turn got their own European competitions to think about. If there are any drop points in the next couple of weeks against Villa and Crystal Palace, it really is over, lads. It really is over, because Arsenal and Liverpool can get maximum points in the next couple of weeks with the size they've got. It gets a little bit trickier for them later on. But the rebound effect after dropped points against Arsenal at home will be huge if Man City don't get back to winning ways. So that's just where I see it at the moment. Liverpool are clear favourites to win the Premier League. What Roy Keane was saying wasn't gas. It was legitimate. I've been saying it for a long time. If you've got 2 other rivals in the Premier League title race, they can all just chip away at you. They double the amount of opportunities that a rival side can create title winning form against you. It's not about nullifying one force. You've got to nullify two. You're fighting with your left and your right hand, and that is the issue for Man City. So I'm legitimately saying, obviously, City have got a great chance. If I had to do the numbers on it, it would be something like 20% Man City and 40-40 Liverpool Arsenal. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Does that maths work? You're going to have to leave a comment, and I'll see you very, very soon.